Hello, this is SJ Talks Online coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. If you're on your phone, it's that little button that's right down there if you're on your phone. Alrighty, please and thank you. I was looking at someone's video. What was her name? She's I think she's one of the red pill women. It's someone that popped up in my recommendations, and I watched a few of her videos, and she's got a lot of videos. She has a lot of red pill talking points. I call them red pill women, where in most of their videos they're talking about women, and they have a lot of red pill manosphere talking points and stuff like that. And one of the videos, and I've seen other videos on that too, was talking about women getting divorced. Women divorcing I guess women, a lot of men in the manosphere says that, and it's one of the things that they like to throw up. Somebody actually just came in my comment section on one of my videos and mentioned that, or was it my video or somebody else's video? Anyway, the manosphere likes to throw that up in our face, us women's faces, that women have the tendency to initiate divorce. Women, I guess statistically, out of the between male and female, women statistically higher file divorce at a much higher rate than men do. And that's interesting. I'm kind of curious as to why that is myself. And so, men like to throw that up in our face and all that kind of stuff like that. And that's what she was talking about. She was doing a video on Tom Brady, I think it was it Tom Brady? Was regretting her divorce. She divorced him and she was regretting, having some regrets. And that's what she was talking about. And women statistically have their they file for divorce at a much higher rate than men do. And that is a good question. Why do women file for divorce at a higher rate than men do? Excellent question. Now, I can't speak on anything concerning marriage as far as personal experiences because I've never been married. I've never been married. Don't know if I ever will get married. The jury's still out on that. But that's a good question. Why do women file for divorce at a much higher rate than men do? It's actually a really good question. And I think now one of the comments that I put in that comment section is that I think that women have the tendency, some women get married. I think there's all different types of reasons. I don't think there's any one reason. I think, well, first of all, they say that men benefit more from marriage than women do. That men benefit more from marriage than women do, because now that's what they say, because most of the time women are cooking, they're cleaning, they're taking care of the children, they're taking care of the man, they're taking care of the house. Women have more duties. Women have more duties, they have more responsibilities in the house and everything, and they're women, we're nurturers by nature, so women are taking care of everybody. They're taking care of everybody. They're taking care of the men. They're taking care of the house. They're cooking, cleaning. In most cases, sometimes men are doing all those things, but in most cases, and I don't know. It seems like, and then men have someone there to look after them, and making sure they eat and all that kind of stuff. And it just seems like women are doing most of the caretaking in marriage situations. I'm not saying that's always the case, but and I guess that's why they say men benefit more from marriage than women do. But I'm hearing a lot of the manosphere saying that Marriage doesn't benefit men because when there's a divorce, he got to drop half of his money, and then he has to pay child support and this and that and the other. So men are looking at it more from a financial standpoint. That a lot of the men are saying that marriage doesn't benefit men to get married, because if in the event that woman files a divorce, she's going to get half of his monies of what he had. Well, that's where a prenup comes in handy. But prenups can be negotiated, and they can be contested in court. But if he has any children by that woman, of course he's going to have to pay child support. And you should, if you're a real man, you should want to support your kids. Check out my video that I just did on that one. A real man takes care of his kids, and he doesn't sit there and complain about it. He just does what he has to do. However, but why? That's a good question. Why do women file for divorce at a higher rate than men do? And I think it's because one of the possible theories is that women tend to get caught up in a fantasy. They think of marriage in terms of this fantasy. Some women want to get married for the wedding day. Well, what about what happens after the wedding day? See, they don't think about what happens after the wedding day. You get married for the marriage, for that man, because you want to spend the rest of your life with this man, and you want to build with this man. Okay, this is who you want to grow old with. I mean, that's the reason why people are supposed to get married, because you love this person. This is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, this and that and the other. But a lot of times women get caught up in this fantasy. They get caught up in this fantasy, and they think that marriage is they have this idea in their mind how marriage is supposed to be. And when they get into marriage and reality hits, because marriage is not a fantasy. Life is not a fantasy. Life is not a fantasy. People need to get out of fantasy land. Life is not a fantasy. Marriage is not a fantasy. And that's coming from somebody that's never been married, but I've heard people talk about different aspects of marriage. Marriage is work. I've heard from many people that marriage is work. Two people have to love each other enough to be willing to put in the work. And first of all, you got to put God first. You got to put God first. He's supposed to be first and foremost in your marriage. And then two people have to love each other enough to put in that work. And it takes two people. But, it's not a fantasy. Because once you say your I do's and the honeymoon is over, then that reality of life is going to hit you. And some women have this fantasy in their mind of how marriage is supposed to be, and it's not nothing like they pictured in their head, and I think that's one of the reasons why women probably file for divorce, because once they get married and the reality hits, and it's not what it's cracked up to be, then, or that man ain't what he cracked up to be. They maybe thought he was going to be some type of Prince Charming or something like that. Because when you get married, you got two people that's coming together with two different upbringings. He was raised one way, you was raised one way, two different backgrounds, and depending on what age you are, previous relationships, and this and that and the other. Two people are coming together with a history. Okay? He might have been raised one way, you was raised another. Two people coming away, even if you're spiritually yoked, you may not be yoked in other areas, because he was raised one way, you was raised another. Okay? And if that man is misogynistic, and he thinks that a woman's supposed to wait on him hand and foot, that he thinks of a wife more in terms of a maid, then and sometimes women might not realize that till after the marriage done took place. After, they may not realize this is the reason why you need to court. You need to really court, and you need to really get to know someone, get to know the man. You got to pray, and sometimes people change. Sometimes, they one way before you marry them, and then when you marry them, they flip the script on you. I think if I have any fears about getting married, that's probably one of them. I'm afraid that he gonna be one way before I marry him, and then when I marry him, he gonna flip the script. Because men do that, they're one way, you ain't meeting them, you meeting their representative, and they're gonna put on their best behavior. I'm not saying this is the case for all men, because they got some wonderful husbands out there, but some men do. Some men change. They just changed, They change, after you hook up with them, and they know that you are emotionally invested, they change on you. So that could be the reason. It could be the reason that the man might have changed. Maybe he changed. Maybe he's misogynistic, and he thinks that woman is a maid. Your wife is not your maid, and maybe that's the reason. Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes a woman has a problem with the man not spending enough time with her, but the man has to go out and work and earn a living. If he loves you, he's going to squeeze in some time. He's going to make time for you, but that man has to go out and earn a living. How else is the bills going to get paid? He has to go, realistically, he has to work and earn a living. And then I think it depends on, some people are needy. Some people, and I say people, I'm talking about men and women. Some people are needy. Some women are needy. Some women are extremely needy. They want somebody to be up under them all the time. Because I get married, I'm the type of person, I like my space. I like my me time, and I like my space. I'm not trying to have you up under me all the time. You know what I'm saying? And some women are extremely needy, and they feel like they got to have the man up under them all the time. And that man ain't up under them all the time. They got a problem with it. They don't understand that man has to work. He has to go out and provide for the family, and it's going to take some time away from you. Me, I don't, like I said, I'm been so single for so long that if I had a man that worked a lot, then I'm probably one of those people that could probably be married to a truck driver, because I'm so used to spending lots of time by myself. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Be safe, baby. I love you. I'll see you when you get home next weekend. You know what I'm saying? That'd be the best of both worlds for me. and make sure you bring home that check. That'd be the best of both worlds for me. Then when he come home, we can, enjoy each other, and I cook and everything, and we can go out and then enjoy each other for the 2 or 3 days that he's off, and then he goes back on the road. I get my me time. That'd be perfect for me. But some women would have a problem with being married to a truck driver, because they're gone all the time. I wouldn't have no problem with it. I'm used to being by myself. I'm comfortable with being by myself. I enjoy my own company. So that would be the ideal situation for me. I get the best of both worlds. But some women have a problem with that. They have a problem with a man being gone all the time because he's working, or because they say police officers and truck drivers have the highest divorce rates because of that very reason. They're going they work, and doctors, they have to work long hours, and they're going all the time, and the wives have a problem with y'all. You ain't never here. But it depends on that woman. If that woman, some women are extremely needy. They want the man up under them all the time. And he can't be that way don't marry a doctor or a truck driver if you require those needs. Marry somebody that got a 9 to 5. They only work 8 hours a day. He off on the weekends or something like that. And so I don't know. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. And they say, I guess now sometimes women are getting abused. They're getting mistreated. Like I said earlier, men change. And that's the reason why they file a divorce. I always say women don't leave good men, but sometimes they do. Sometimes women do leave good men. It just depends on the situation. But at any rate, I think the main reason is that women have this idea in their head of how marriage is supposed to be, and marriage is not a fantasy. And then some women get married for the wedding day. Well, you don't get married for the wedding day. You get married for this because you want to spend the rest of your life with this man, and you want to be. They don't actually want to be a wife. They want to be a bride. Do you want to be a bride, or do you want to be a wife? The wedding is only one day. And some women get so caught up in the hoopla of the wedding, and to be able to just want to say that they married or whatever. But, okay, do you want to be a wife? Do you want to be this man's wife? Do you want to spend the rest of your life with this man? That's the reason why you get married. Are you willing to put in the work? Both people, men and women, have to think about that. Are you willing to put in the work and make the necessary sacrifices needed for the relationship? That goes for men and women for the marriage. If you're not willing to do that, don't do it. Don't do it. So hit me up in that comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Why do women file divorce at a higher rate? Men, sound off for me. Feel free to share your experiences. No bashing. But just let me know. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are on why do women file for divorce at a much higher rate? Good question. Okay, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share, and notification bell. And until the next video, you guys be blessed.